Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This will be my first tutorial. This is getting past the Black Forest into the Iron Age from the Bronze Age. You've taken on the Black Forest, you've taken down the trolls, you've taken on the bears, you've got the bear gear, you got the troll gear, you got the bronze armor, you figured out the carts are terrible, and now you want some iron. You want to do some big building. Beat the Elder, you've got the key. What's next? I'm going to go through short tutorials on how I made it through the Bronze Age on my first try. I learned a lot of hard things, and I get a lot of questions in my live streams about getting into the swamp. So I'm going to do a series. We're going to start today with the enemies that you're going to encounter, the monsters that you're going to encounter in the swamp, what they're weak to, what their strong parts are, what to expect when you encounter these monsters when you get into the swamp. The swamp has probably, in my opinion, my number one building piece, and it's iron. It's the most annoying one to get, and it's like my number one building thing. I need iron for everything. When I build my castles, I need iron. When I build my swamps, I need iron. Like, I need iron. We all need iron. Iron weapons are good compared to bronze weapons. So here we are. I'll start off with each one that you will encounter, and we'll go from there. Okay, the first up on the list of monsters that you are going to run into in the swamps is the Draugr. Seen here. The Draugrs are aggressive creatures. They're found in the swamps and in the Draugr villages. You may have already accidentally ran into one and they've chased you back into the Black Forest a few times. They have this mighty roar before they start attacking you. When they drop the Draugr trophy, and they drop entrails, which you'll need for cooking once you get into the Iron Age. They're neutral to blunt, slash, pierce, frost, lightning, spirit, and stagger. Resistant to fire and immune to poison, chop, and pickaxe. Best thing to do is go beat them down and get your blocking up. Time their hits out so you can block their hits. And I'll explain that when we talk about the weapons and what weapons to run. The next up is going to be the Draugr Elite. You're going to see these at night, randomly spawn at night, and then you'll see green body piles laying around. They'll spawn out Draugr Elites on you as well. And then when you get into the sunken crypts, you'll run into the body piles again and Draugr Elites in there as well. They are sword, so they have the 58 slash, so you gotta be good at blocking them too, timing their hits. They're neutral and resistance to the same thing as the Draugrs. There's a regular, a 1-star, and a 2-star. Next thing you're gonna see is an Oozer. This is like the orange-looking blob that bounces around. They're also another aggressive creature. When you destroy them, they split into 2 blobs. And then the damage that they do is poison, so at the Bronze Age, your health is lower and your stamina is lower. Poison ticks very fast with these. So when we get to talking about what meads to make and what to run out there, poison potion is going to come in handy with these. Because not only do you have to take on the Oozer, then you have to take on 2 blobs once you take out the Oozer. They're weak to blunt, frost, and lightning. You don't have frost and lightning yet. You have the blunt. And I'll talk about weapons in that section of this as well. They're immune to your poison, stagger, chop, and pickaxe, and they're resistant to fire, pierce, and slash. So the drops on the Oozer, it drops 2 blobs, it drops 2 ooze, and it drops scrap iron on 33%. which kind of helps out when you start getting iron. You'll realize it's kind of a pain to transport it at this moment until you get the iron nails made. It has a 33% chance of dropping scrap iron. But you'll trigger a raid, and they'll raid, and you'll be able to get a few oozers, and they'll bring you some scrap iron. And then you got the blobs. The blobs are another aggressive creature. They drop a blob trophy 10% of the time, and then they drop an ooze. I think it's like 1 ooze. That's what they're gonna drop you. They are weak to blunt, frost, and lightning, and then they're resistant to fire, pierce, and slash. And then I'll explain why that matters, like I said, in the armor and weapon side of everything. These guys will see you from a distance and then bounce on you and annoy the heck out of you, but they're also going to poison you. And then when you're traversing through the swamps, in the water, you're going to see creatures just swimming around. Those are the leeches that's seen here. There are 1-star, 2-star leeches as well. They're going to drop blood bags and a leech trophy. The blood bags, if it's a regular one, it drops 1, 1-star drops 2, 2-star drops 4, and it's going to come in handy with cooking. They're neutral to blunt, slash, pierce, frost, and lightning. They're resistant to poison. They're immune to fire, spirit, stagger, chop, pickaxe. Now, when you're running through the swamps and you're looking, you gotta pay attention, look ahead, because you'll get turned around and everything else. But you're gonna see fire that's burning what it looks like from like a natural gas burn off. This is gonna be where the Surtlings are at. They're part of the demon faction. They also have 0, 1, and 2 stars, as seen here. The good thing about these is they drop Surtling cores on drop. So they'll drop Surtling core, they'll drop you some coal, and they'll drop Surtling trophies that you can use as lights, like unlimited light sources later on. They blast a fireball at you that does 10 blunt and 40 fire. They're going to be neutral to your blunt, slash, and pierce. And immune to fire, poison, spirit, chop, and pickaxe. You just got to block and mac. And then as you're pushing through, it's already kind of a pain to navigate through it every now and then. You're going to run into an abomination. It's going to look like a tree stump, and then it's going to come out of the ground. Its weakness against fire. So if you got fire arrows, you can just launch fire arrows at it. I like to block and slash. Let's not get my block up. And when I start running through the swamp in this tutorial, I'll explain its timings on its moves and everything else. It's pretty easy to beat once you get its timing down. And then lastly, on the creatures found in the swamp, that's the Wraith. Wraith comes out at night, and they'll see you from a long way away, and you'll hear them coming in. The Wraith is weak to fire, spirit, it's neutral to lightning and stagger, it's resisting to blunt, pierce, and slash. It's immune to frost, poison, chop, and pickaxe. Fire arrows and getting your blocking downtime is where it's at with the Wraiths. They drop 1 chain, and 5% of the time, they'll drop a Wraith trophy for you. And that should be what you encounter. I better get a move on before the high tide rolls in and gets me.